And welcome to the Hardin Simmons Coaches Show with Coach Jesse Burleson. I'm Al Pickett as the Cowboys get ready to take on Mary Hardin Baylor, a game that can clinch the American Southwest Conference title, the third conference championship in a row for the Cowboys. Before we talk about that, Coach, we look back to last week, 54-24 win over Howard Payne down in Brownwood. First thing, you had to sit through another rain delay to start the ball game.
We've seen a lot of them over the years, but
it only rains on Saturday.
As soon as the last note of the national anthem hit, and I saw a lightning strike, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" But yeah, so I think we had a pretty good delay right there. I mean, I think they said at one point the field was completely covered in hail, and we just focused on what we needed to do and took care of business.
I went online and looked, and there was one tiny little storm, but looked like it was sitting right on top of you.
It was supposed to blow through in about 20 minutes is what we saw, and then it just sat there for another hour and just kind of built on top of us. But we were able to handle that, and we were able to weather the storm there.
Well, when you got to play, you got off to a fast start, jumped out to a 22-0 first quarter lead, led 30-0 before Howard Payne scored, and Noah Garcia, 5 touchdowns. He had a tremendous ball game.
He really did. The thing that we've been pleased with him is he's so dynamic. Everybody knows that, but we've been able to do it different ways this season. Each week we try to come up with something new to try to get him the ball in a unique way. What we did in that game is we kind of went back to the old school and ran just a good old running back screen, and he was able to catch that thing in the edge, and then our guard Bodie and Philpott just buried 2 guys right there, and then we went down the field and went about 75 yards to go score.
You moved him out in the slot some too, and really makes difficult for the defense when you're covering your 3 receivers, and then Noah is added out there in the open field.
Yep, that's one of the things we want to do. I mean, he's such a natural out there too. I mean, it wasn't like we have to spend a ton of time. We just kind of tell him, hey, this is what you're going to do on this play, and he's got it.
He now has 40 career rushing touchdowns at Hardin Simmons. He passed, I'm going to make sure I got the names right, Colton Marshall, Quentin Jones, and Lance Moore into second place behind Jaquan Hemphill. That's pretty elite company in Cowboy history.
Those 3 guys right there, I didn't have the pleasure of getting to coach Lance, but I got to watch him and know him pretty well. I got to coach those other 2, and man, that's an elite group of not only football players, but an elite group of people, and that's pretty rarefied air right there to be in that company.
And he has a chance to catch Jaquan Hemphill with a good, strong finish to the season, especially if you get to play a number of playoff games.
Yeah, and that would be, Jaquan was one of those ones sometimes you think, man, I'm only going to have one guy like that in my career, and luckily we've had several. But Jaquan was a special one, and Noah's right up there in that same category.
Okay, now it's Mary Hardin Baylor, and that's kind of for Hardin Simmons fans. That's all you need to say. Mary Hardin Baylor again. Last time you beat them 34-7, had a shutout to the last minute and a half of the game. What do you look at differently in this game?
To me, they don't even look like the same team. I mean, they've made a lot of personnel changes, different guys at different spots on both sides of the ball, playing a different quarterback. Because, in this game of football, everybody kind of looks at the quarterback first, and he's been playing really, really well. They have a couple of different receivers that they're playing at different spots, and defensively, they've made some changes on the D line and in the secondary and the linebacker. So all 3 levels, they've made personnel changes, and it's definitely helped them. And they don't look like the same team at all.
They had a ton of transfers when we played here the first time. I remember going through, I think, like 9 of the 11 offensive starters. Did it take a while for that team to gel?
I'm not really sure, because a lot of those guys have been in the system there and played. I think it was just trying to figure out who they were. Maybe that was part of it, but they definitely have played really well the last couple of weeks.
I believe the guy who'd been the starting quarterback missed the game against you with a concussion, and so is he back? Is that the one who's playing now quarterback?
He is, yep. Transfer, big, really good athlete, probably 6'5", 6'6", cannon of an arm, very accurate. I mean, he's a really good football player.
What are keys for the Cowboys?
Biggest thing is, we got to understand that nothing carries over from that first game. And it sounds like, you said, well, you said that, you said that last week. Well, it really is. Anytime you play somebody twice, you have to understand that it's a different game. If you assume anything or go into it with preconceived notion, you're going to be very disappointed. And we have not done that at all. So our guys have done a great job. I mean, starting on Sunday, we have the 24-hour rule after a game. Well, I think we were right up at 24:01. We were ready to roll for this one, and they've done great the last couple of days. Had a great day of practice yesterday, and I know we will today. So the focus is on us and doing the things we need to do, and this just happens to be the next opportunity that we have.
Crazy as it is, this is the 6th time you've played Mary Hardin-Baylor in the last year. Isn't that amazing?
It really is. And I was thinking about this. I've been back here 19 years, and I think I've coached against those guys 30-plus times. And so that's crazy to say that, but it's definitely a very unique situation.
The clinching of the conference championship is very simple. You win, you're the conference champion. Lose, and then you start to get into some potential tiebreakers, right?
I haven't looked at any of those options, on either side, because I know that, there's what can we do about it? The only thing we can do is go play well and go put the best performance we can together. And I think we got a great game plan going into it. I know our coaches we've spent an exhaustive amount of time on it, coming up with things that we think are going to be beneficial for our guys and put them in that position. But, I think if you start looking at all that other stuff, you lose focus on what's really important, and that's what do we need to do and how do we need to do it. And that's the thing that's been great about this team is they have really and truly, even though we say those things, they have done that. They have focused on what it's going to take to be successful, and then go out and create plays when the time comes.
I thought the first meeting against Mary Hardin-Baylor may have been the best I've ever seen your defense play. You're looking for that kind of performance again. Huh?
I want that performance every week, and then so do they as well. We've been playing well, and there's been I think that you can see whenever that core group is in there playing together, man, they can be elite. They can be as good as we've ever had around here, and that's their goal. That's their goal defensively, and that's our goal as a team is to be the best we've ever had.
Final comment is something that has no bearing on it, but it's kind of interesting in the fact that now you're one of 3 teams in Texas out of 49 to play that are still undefeated. Tyler Junior College, Texas A&M, your neighbor down the road. ACU took care of the other undefeated in beating Tarleton State last week on a last-second field goal. So, it has no bearing on your future, but it's kind of neat to be one of only 3 teams without a loss in the state of Texas.
Yeah, it was funny because, everybody goes, oh, you know what's going on. Well, I don't have time to pay attention to that, especially whenever you're game planning. My wife's actually one of them. She goes, I've gotten 3 texts about this. And I was like, well, I'm glad that you got them and I didn't. So she does a phenomenal job of being able to she's the gatekeeper on those things. So she just said, no pressure, but you do know this, right? Yes, ma'am, I've got it. So.
Well, it has been a fun season so far, and we have hopefully a whole lot more to go. Good luck this week against Mary Hardin-Baylor.
Thanks, Al. I appreciate it.
That's the Hardin Simmons Coaches Show with Coach Jesse Burleson. Back with more after we take this time out.